Hi, boys and girls. We're going to be reading The Big Trip today, and it's a story by this man. His name is Valery Gorbachev, and he drew all the pictures and he wrote all the words. And he likes doing that. He likes doing all the work to make his books. And it's going to be about a pig and a goat. Here's the pig. Let's see. There's the goat. Looks like they're friends. And he has another couple stories about the pig and the goat, and those stories are Where is the Apple Pie? And One Rainy Day. This is a fantasy. That means it's baloney. It's make-believe. It could never really happen. And this is in our California Journeys Grade 1 textbook. Okay, so before we read it, we're going to go ahead and talk about different ways we can travel. And that's sort of like the main point, like ways to travel. What are some different ways to travel? And so traveling is like when you take a trip somewhere and maybe it's a short trip, like maybe you go to Walmart and back, or maybe it's a long trip. Maybe you go to Disneyland or you go to Texas and you travel far away and you have to spend some time there. So there's different ways you get places. You can get there by boat, like if you have to cross a lake or river or ocean. You can get there in a plane. Um, you can get there. You have to travel through the air if you're going to be riding on a plane or traveling in a plane. You can get there in a train. But like for us, we get there in cars and buses and such like that. But um, you can travel by air. So which of these travels by air? Air. Oh, the airplane. You can travel by land. On this picture, the train is traveling by land. Or you can travel by sea, or I should say water, because boats can travel on the sea, but they can also travel on lakes and large rivers. So there's that. Um, let's go ahead and read the story. I'm going to go ahead and introduce you. These words are the ones that are colored in yellow. They're your sight words. There are 8 of them, and you have to know them by Friday. And before Friday, because you have to be able to read your stories. So this one says car, could, and don't, sure, about, there, by, maybe. All right, and there's a whole lesson on your sight words in your links, and also you get to practice them in your reader's notebook. So right now I'm going to read you the story. Okay, ready? And then you're going to answer some questions at the end. It's called The Big Trip. Oh, they're going to travel. Someone's going to travel. Hmm. I am going to take a trip far away, Pig said to Goat one day. How will you go? Asked Goat. Let me think for a moment, said Pig. Maybe I will go by bike. That will be a very nice trip. And, oh dear, said Goat, you could fall off a bike. So I guess he doesn't want him to take a trip on a bike because he might fall. This says exit only. Ah, said Pig, then I will drive a car. Oh, he's going to take his trip in a car.
It's not a good idea, Pig, said Goat. A car can break down.
True. Oh, said Pig, then I will go by horse on my trip. Yeah.
I'm not sure about that, said Goat. Horses can be very jumpy.
And I think what he means is sometimes they rear up on their legs when they see something they don't like, and then whoever's on their back falls off because they get jumpy. Okay, said Pig. Then I am going to go by donkey cart. A donkey is very quiet. So I guess donkeys aren't as jumpy?
Not good, said Goat. Donkeys can be very stubborn.
So stubborn is like you're not going to do what someone tells you to do, right? So he might just stop in the middle of the trip and sit down and not go because he's so stubborn. Then I will go by train, said Pig.
Oh, Pig, said Goat. A train could get stuck in a tunnel.
So a tunnel is like a long underground hole that cars and trains travel through. Oh, look. What's that? A parachute? It's really a hot air balloon, but these are parachutes. This says, "Good point, Goat," said Pig. "Then I will fly by plane."
What if the engine stops? Said Goat.
Yeah, have you thought about that? You're flying an airplane and all of a sudden the machine that makes the airplane go just stops? The engine just stops?
You'd have to parachute.
So I guess if your airplane's engine stops, you have to get your parachute and I guess jump out of the plane? Is that what he's saying? True, said Pig. Then I will go by hot air balloon. There's a hot air balloon. Wow, I'll bet you the goat's going to say something bad about the hot air balloon.
The hot air balloon could have a hole, said Goat.
Okay, I will not travel by land. I will not travel by air. I will go by sea, said Pig. On a ship. So far he's been talking about traveling, on bikes and cars and horses and donkeys and all of those go on land and trains. And then he started talking about parachutes and hot air balloons and planes, which we don't have a picture of here. But since the goat doesn't like that he's going by land or by air, the pig's saying he's going to go by sea on a ship.
Oh no, exclaimed Goat. Don't do it. The ship could run into a reef when passing through fog, or run into a heavy storm at sea. And there are sharks all around at sea, so many you couldn't count them. And you could find yourself alone on a desert island in the middle of the ocean with pirates that could come on that desert island by pirate ship.
Oh, he definitely doesn't want him to be traveling by sea. Like you could be in a hurricane or some kind of storm, and then you end up on some island no one knows about except for the pirates. Stop! 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 Exclaimed Pig. He's sticking his hand in his face. Is like, I don't want to hear it anymore.
I could fall off a bike, break down in a car, get thrown by a horse, never get there with a donkey, or get stuck on a train. I might have to parachute from a plane or from a hot air balloon, and traveling by ship could bring me many troubles. So I will not go anywhere, said Pig. Having a big trip is a very scary thing. Unless, said Goat, looking at Pig, you go with a friend.
Oh, I'm on to him. The reason he kept on bringing up all the things that might happen, all the things that could go wrong, is because he wanted to go too and be part of the adventure. It's better to, if you get into trouble, it's better to have a friend with you. All right, let's read our questions. Here they are. It says, how are goat and pig different? And how are they alike? So let me see if I have one of these. Okay, let's just go ahead and write that out. Actually, I'll just do it on this one. This is better. Okay, so how are goat and pig different? Can you guys tell me? Okay, well, let's see. Goat is just super scared. And pig is sort of like adventurous. He wants to go on this big trip. And how are they alike? They both are friends. They both have 4 legs. Yeah, I think that's about all we want to do with that. There's lots of different ways that pigs and goats are different. Like a pig says oink and a goat says meh. You know, we could go down the list. But in this story, they're friends. They're friendly. They're both friends, and they both have 4 legs, 2 eyes, 2 ears, whatever. This is not really the time or place to get into compare and contrast because we have these other questions to do. What problem do pig and goat have? Well, what was their problem? It was a problem that everything the pig wanted to do for his big trip, there was something that might go wrong. That's the way life is. Things can go wrong. So how do they solve it? So the problem is it might be dangerous going on a big trip. And the way they solve it is that they're going to do it together. They're going to plan their trip and go on their trip together. So if they get into trouble, then they got a friend there to help them out of it. Okay, let's have our look at the last question. It says, which way to travel would you choose? So that's all up to you. Like, what's your favorite way to travel? For me, it's a car, but you guys, you'd have to get someone to drive the car for you. Maybe your favorite way to travel is by walking or running or riding a bike. Maybe you have a scooter. Okay, all these, we don't often get to go on planes. I don't even want to get on a plane these days. Okay, well, that was that story. That was fun to read. All right, boys and girls, have a good rest of your school day. Bye-bye.